We got this Deus too out here, a little break in this wind here maybe, okay? I've got me a clad dive down there, boys, and I've got me some bigger fall. Okay, I've compared this dive program to this Deep High Conductor. You'll notice that Deep High Conductor gives a little click every now and then, okay? Dive program. Let the auto skin get done. Okay, now I've got the notch set to 80, 0 to 80 in both of these. So I'm getting 84, 83 on that clad dime down there, okay? Now just out of curiosity, in case people are wondering, auto skin is on, this machine is locked up 4.4 kilohertz. This is a 74 notch. And if I go in here and I try to run the notch to 80 on it, that's what I'm in right now. Nothing, okay? Speed one, they're all set up the same silencer. Now, I need to reshoot this here. I'm not going to redo the test. I'm just going to put the new commentary in behind what I showed with this clad dime that was under this fall on this board here, okay? You see the dime it's under there. But anyway, what's happened with this detector is the deeper, farther away from the cowl the fall is, the better chance the Deep High Conductor on this machine can perform, okay? Versus closer. So the smaller the fall, now it can be real small and not bother the detector. But equivalent, bigger size fall closer to the call, dive program outperforms Deep High Conductor. As we progress down closer to the target away from the call, the fall in both programs can be bigger. Okay, and you will get signal running an equivalent notch, say on a clad dime. I ran 80 notch in the test. Okay, now I did some other tests besides the one I showed in the video. So yes, you could dig a clad dime with a fairly sizable piece of fall down close to it or at mid ranges. Okay, say a 7 or 8 inch dime at the 4 or 5 inch mark, you could have a pretty good sized piece of fall in Deep High Conductor and it give a signal with an 80 notch. But the fall at that level could be bigger using dive program. And as you move up closer to the call, the fall, comparatively speaking, has to be smaller using Deep High Conductor versus the dive program. Okay, so there'll be instances in the wild where, you know, you could actually plant these tests and you could see this. And the difference is actually enough where it would cause you to miss a finding Deep High Conductor, okay? There would be some targets in the wild that running at 80 notch, the machine won't sound off. Now, the ID can be compromised, even in the dive program, okay? It was compromised when I did this test right here. The dime was reading 83, but that's a lot of fall down there, okay? But you can find that dime in the wild. And let's say you were using a CTX or a Mind Lab, and you had your little window there blocked out, okay, for your disc. Well, guess what? It's not gonna sound off for you. You'd miss it with that too. Now I can show some E-track comparisons with this Deus too, and I can already tell you the dive program is going to eat it alive, okay? When it comes to foul masking on targets. That's just the way it's going to be. But what I'm saying is these targets are out there in the wild. So some of these targets in the wild in some of these public places, you know, I don't know what people are doing, or even sites that you hunt. Maybe you haven't dug a 30 signal reading on a Deus too. Okay? If you're in there running fast program and you see a target that reads 25 to 33, well, that's a target right there that could be one of those maskers straight down under that or off to the side. And this also doesn't, you know, the foul don't necessarily have to be straight on top of a 7 or 8 inch dime, by the way. It can be off to the side and still cause problems. for the deep high conductor, for the 4 kilohertz, and for the dive program, depending on the size of the fall, of course. But the dive program is going to be able to negotiate or work better through a bigger piece of fall. Now, this may not mean much to some people, but you know, you want to find stuff. This is what could still be in some of these sites, okay? Because you're not going to take a single frequency unit in there, select digging high conductors and sniff these out. It ain't happening, okay? Won't happen. You might get some of them if you had a 4 and 5 kilohertz, you know, single frequency detector, but you know, they don't make too many of them. Meaning, you know, back 10, 15, 20 years ago, they weren't making a whole lot of those. You know, your Garretts and your Fishers, you know, they weren't running that low. But that still is not the, you know, that's not the total answer to find, you know, find some of these targets that are out there. Now, you notice on that 10-inch comparison test I did using this Deus too, okay? The deep high conductor on that 10-inch, little over 10-inch dime, the fall was closer to the call, yet you seen how tiny that was. Okay? It was pretty small, and it made that deep high conductor, you know, wouldn't detect a click. You could hear that dive program just a singing, you know, singing on that dime. So that's how this works, you know, and people can, you know, use it if they want to try it out. And I believe you'll find some finds in some places. The situation has to exist out there in some places. It has to. Question is, you know, it's just going to be site dependent and luck of the draw. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video.